Namaste, friends. It's a welcome change for me as well to be back to long form content. Welcome to Lifestyle Within, my YouTube channel, on which I have been posting long form content about holistic health since a long time. But at oftentimes, I am traveling, I am busy, so I don't get the time to post long form content. Most of what I do is through spontaneity and through a scriptless attitude. So I have to be in the right energy frame. And I thought that life is compelling me to return back to this long form frame. And I had some good clues over the last few weeks, which made me take this step of restarting my YouTube channel where I talk more in depth. Although it is spontaneous, there is a little framework which I am naturally following. And today I thought that I'll discuss the everydayness of awakening. I am in Bali right now hosting an immersion for one of my beautiful health partners. He's 63. He's traveled from the other corner of the world in northwestern United States of America. Before this, I was hosting another immersion in Thailand with another beautiful health partner who's half the age of the current health partner. He is 31, who was from the northeastern part of the United States, who let go of the glitz and glam of the American dream before the American dream threw everyone out with their rules. So over the last 3.5 to 4 months, it's been a journey, a beautiful one, where I've been traveling, where I've been living life, staying holistically healthy while being a mirror to these beautiful energies. And there are a lot of lessons, a lot of blessings along the way, which made me decide that today we will be covering some of the lessons from those journeys and also talk about the everydayness of awakening, because a lot of people, a lot of digital people, a lot of coaches, a lot of religious institutions spread this dogma that awakening is a single moment experience. It is one aha moment, and you're awakened and you are gifted with enlightenment. And especially for the Western mind, which is very scientific, goal oriented, where tasks are performed for a particular objective, it can appear true. It can appear very true that if you do a certain bit of rituals, certain practices, certain things, there will be one aha moment after which you can call yourself awakened or enlightened. But that is far from the truth. And that's what we will break down today as to why there is a necessity to practice everyday rituals without worrying about results, without aiming for enlightenment or awakening as if it is another materialistic goal. So let's start this journey again. Yes, friends, I'm in Bali right now. It is the pseudo-spiritual capital of the world. Yes, the locals are very authentic, very spiritual. They have everyday rituals which are a part of their lifestyle. They don't do these things just on one off days. They are not enamored by the exoticness of their rituals. They are a seamless part of their lives, whether it is going to the waterfalls, offering everyday prayers, offering these showers at these waterfalls or these specific temples, all the rituals. It's an everyday seamless part of life, which to a Westerner looks very esoteric, very exotic, because they have nothing of that sort back at home. And they get caught up in these aspects because deep inside they are wanting some expression of a spiritual change. They want some catharsis, they want some closure on certain healing they might be needing, certain trauma they might be suffering from. They would be needing a physical manifestation or a change in their outer self for this. And that's why a lot of these Balinese rituals get a lot of followers. People come here for that instant fix and shift, and they like wholeheartedly participate and get those, we see those gyrating videos of ladies and men when they're getting some treatment, when they're yelling at waterfalls, when they're doing those dips. All of those things are more intentional and more intention driven rather than being short term purifying cures. Nothing can cure you but your own mind and energy. And these things, if you follow, you will be needing them every day, just like you need drugs, alcohol, sex as everyday things when you get addicted to them. So we're merely shifting the shape of our desires into more spiritual ones. And that's what happens with a lot of people who travel to places like Koh Samui, Bali. And I come from the Himalayas. The crust of yoga was born in those mountains, in the stillness of those mountains. I come from close to Rishikesh, where I see a lot of spiritual practices turning to foreign appeasement because of the slavery mindset. We have been slaves for so long, us Indians, that we still live the bad effects of that conditioning. And also, a lot of money was taken away. So, a lot of people have changed and transformed this beautiful gift of spirituality into money making schemes, the effect of which is felt by the Western world when they get diluted services, when they face bad hygienic conditions, when they face a lot of corruption and scams when they come there. And they have to fight all of that as a tapasya, as a give back for what they get through the clarity in the chaos. But that being said, when I come from there, I know what all are the games and scams of spirituality because I've seen them happen around me. And what is authenticity in terms of awareness. And having guided other people, having taken all these beautiful courses around the world in both science and spirituality, I for one, am more interested in the everydayness of awakening because you always have this little thing called enlightenment or awakening just under your nose in this moment, right here, in your breath. And you're just forsaking that because you want your mind to feel something complex. It wants a complex solution. So you travel millions of miles away and you have these esoteric, exotic experiences and think that you are now awakened and now you can become a shaman, a yogi, a guru yourself. And that's what most of the people do. They go for a 200-hour yoga teacher training course, they go for some cacao ceremony, ayahuasca ceremony, and then they think that they have become enlightened and they can speak the volumes to the world. But it's not that easy. Uh, it's about turning your urge of doing into being. It's about nurturing your own garden so that your flowers bloom and you naturally blossom, the fragrance of which brings butterflies and birds by themselves who want the overflow of your fragrance. But until you're not preparing the garden of your inner self, until you're not nurturing everyday rituals for a long time, then you will stay away and you will keep chasing. You will keep chasing this momentary enlightenment and awakening. I released a book in 2016. It's called Six Ways to the World. It's available on Amazon. And it was about self awareness. And that's the first step towards any kind of awakening or enlightening experience. And for me, this experience is about the quality of your presence. When people ask me what I do, the closest I can come to giving them an answer is I'm a holistic health and well being coach. Holistic means doing everything in your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial capacity to enhance the wholeness of your present moment, the qualitative presence of the moment, because that is where your awareness always has to be. And most of the world is lost in projections, projections of the past, planning of the future, and they lose themselves in between their higher selves, which is just lying within. And the only way to get to this willingness is through certain methods, certain kriyas, certain systems which you create for your own self. So, starting with self awareness, your rituals should not be imposed. You can get educated, but your rituals should be a part of you. And I always tell beginners on this journey of seeking, it's good to go out with the right mindset, the right intention, and be a part of group education. But if you want to really progress, you got to make that journey by yourself in terms of customizing, doing things which are uh, giving you that sense of presence and sustaining that practice for long. So when you're choosing a practice, don't go after intensity, exoticness, craziness, but about what you can sustain for a longer time, what you feel is the best match, that flow state between boredom and stress for you. And then you can pick up practices, whether it is a breathwork practice, an energy centering practice, movement practice. And just remember that meditation techniques, loading them up in your being, won't make you enlightened or aware. Meditativeness is about being, not doing. Meditation practices are doing. So anything that you're doing won't lead to being. Only being can lead to being. So that state of presence can only learned by being around others who are being. It's like how you can conduct magnetism. So when you're around people who are in their natural presence, who don't perform dances but become the dance, who don't have meditation techniques but are meditative, who are not doing yoga but are yoga. And there are few people around the world, and you'll find them, where what they do is a part of them, and they are being in that practice, lost in it totally. That is what you have to look for with yourself. How can you get lost in your practices, whether they are physical, mental, emotional, spiritual? And that's the start of the journey, because that's what creates the soil on which you embed the seeds. And then your beautiful garden grows. And when the garden grows, the essence, the fragrance of it automatically reaches the world. You don't need to hashtag awakening. That is a big culture here in Bali. Most of the engagement is not with the divine, it's social media engagement. And most of the people here, whether at gyms, at temples, doing these yoga workshops, they're not doing it for deeply engaging with themselves. They're wanting to engage to social media. And that's where the 5% who are actually doing it genuinely, they get confused. But beyond that journey, my journey is to utilize both domains well. My inner journey has been taking care of itself and evolving for the last 22, 23 years. And I keep uh, producing consistent content on other platforms, Instagram, where it is easy for the untrained eye to look at me as just a fitness trainer or someone who does random tricks, calisthenics, parkours, yoga. But then if you read the captions, you can write many books out of them. It's just that you will only see me with the depth that you've seen yourself. So, on that note, let's give you a few things that you can do on an everyday basis so that you get involved in the everydayness of awakening.